Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Maddie, and in today's video we're gonna kind of change up the pace from what we've usually been doing here on this channel. So I don't know if anybody knows, but before I had my son, I was a server. So I was a server for about 5 years, and I decided to make a video on all the things that servers want you to know when you go to a restaurant. I have a feeling that a lot of these are going to be a shock to people because people eat at restaurants all the time but don't know the rules of restaurants. So I feel like there should be a course or something offered that teaches you how to actually eat at a restaurant because people eat out a lot. And guys, I recently read a study, and I'll insert it right here. Scientists are saying that serving is way more stressful than actually being a neurosurgeon. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it is a really stressful job, but I mean, neurosurgeons kind of have a bigger thing on their plate than just serving plates to a table. So I have here in my phone all the things, a huge list that servers wish that you would know before eating at a restaurant. And let's begin. If you're a server or have served in the past, you'll probably relate to a lot of these. Okay, the first thing, starting off, if you're gonna order waters, make sure you order waters for everybody at the table. I can't tell you the amount of times I bring someone a water and then the other person at the table is like, hey, that looks good, can I get a water? So I have to run back, get them a water, bring it over, and then another person's like, hey, I want a water. It's like, look, if you all want waters, let me know. Another thing, guys, we are not mind readers. If you want something as an appetizer, let me know that you want it as an appetizer. I'm not a mind reader. If it's labeled as a main, I'm gonna bring it out as a main. But if you wanted it as an appetizer or to share as an appetizer, let me know. The next one is a huge one. If you're coming in with a party of let's say greater than 10 people, and it's all separate bills, we organize what you have eaten according to your seat number. So as soon as you start to get up and talk to people and move around and switch seats and stuff like that, your server doesn't know what the hell you ordered. So if you're gonna ask for separate bills at the end of the night, you better know that's gonna take a while because we're gonna have to come around and ask you, okay, what exactly did you order? And then we're gonna have to split the bills accordingly. The next one, I'm pretty sure all the hosts out there will thank me for. When a host is seating you down at a table, that table, she just randomly picked that table. It wasn't like she was like, let's pick a number from 1 to 10 and we'll sit them at table 6. No. That table is in rotation. So each server is assigned a certain amount of tables in that restaurant for that night. She has to make sure that she's evenly rotating between all of them and not giving all the tables to one server. So when your host sits you down at a table and you say, no, I want that table over there, it screws up rotation and you're actually screwing the server that you were gonna sit down in their section. Number 6, it's not funny to say that you hated the dish when you clearly ate all of it. Can't tell you how many times I'm like, oh look, you finished it all, and they're like, oh yeah, I hated it. It's like, I get that like 6 times a night, it's not funny. Number 7, I hate making Shirley Temples. Shirley Temples are a to make, okay? And then when one kid orders a Shirley Temple, and I bring it over, then every kid wants to order Shirley Temple, and it takes a long time to make Shirley Temples. Another thing, again, if you want separate bills, let me know that you want separate bills when you ask for the bill, because if you just ask for the bill, I'm bringing over the one bill for the whole table. Another one, this one is so annoying. Number 10 is don't split one dish amongst 10 people. Okay, so many times I get people in a party that are like, hey, that's the birthday girl over there, so we're gonna split everything that she ordered amongst 10 people. It's like, ugh. And I have to go back into the system, and let's just say she ordered a pop as a drink, okay? I have to split that pop, which is like $3.25. I have to split that amongst 10 people. So I have to click it and say split 1 of 10, and then I have to sit there and go, and then he doesn't see it, and so you have to scroll the screen, and then you have to 4, 5, 6, and that's just the pop. That's not her appetizer, that's not her main course, and that's not her dessert. Another one, don't show up at 5 p.m. and order waters because you wanted to reserve the table for a 9 p.m. game. Do not sit at a table for 6 hours catching up, okay? A restaurant is not a coffee shop, it's not somebody's house. If you know someone well enough to sit down for 6 hours, you know them well enough to go over to their house, okay? And it's always the tables that have ordered only a salad and a water that sit there for 6 hours. I'm gonna explain something to you. Servers are only given a certain amount of tables in their section. One of the restaurants I used to work for would only give you 4 tables for your whole night, okay? So if you're sitting at that table for 6 hours, I could have flipped that table at least 3 times within that 6 hours, and I could have made triple of what I made. But since you want to sit there and catch up, I have to waste a lot of time and a lot of money. The next one I'm pretty sure everyone can agree with. It's just common sense. If you're a table of 2, don't occupy a table of 4 or a table of 6. Going back to my point before, we only have like 4 or 5 tables in our section. If you're a table of 2 and you're occupying a table of 6, that's 4 empty seats that I could be making money on right now. Again, don't occupy one of my tables with your coats, your jackets. I had a table once come in and they occupied one of my 4 tables with their kids' car seats. Another really important one is when your server is done their shift and they let you know, hey, I'm leaving for the night, it would be greatly appreciated if you could settle up with us. Because if you don't settle up with us, we have to transfer that table away and we lose all the tip that we did. So we put in 100% of the work on the table, but we lose 100% of the tip. It doesn't take too much to settle up, and then if you want to order more with the server that's taking over that table from your original server. The next one, I can't tell you how many times this has happened to me. I get called in to work a party of 40, okay? That party ends up being 12 people. Only 12 people show up. So what a restaurant does when there's a party of 40 is they put at least 2 or 3 servers on that party. When only 12 people show up, those 3 servers have to split 12 people. So they go home making $4 for that day. Also, to go along with that point, if 20 of the people in your party didn't show up, don't get mad at me when I move one of the unoccupied tables from your party away to seat it again, because 20 of your people didn't show up. I'm not even using that table. If your food is cooked wrong, don't get mad at me. I wasn't the one that cooked your food. Do not put your bag hanging off the back of the chair. I can't tell you how many times I walk by and hit people's bags off of their chairs. Servers out there, have you ever been extremely weeded and when it's super busy, a table asks you to change the channel on the TV? It's like I don't have time to go and look for the remote that's always missing and then try and scroll and try to find the right TV and then scroll through the channels. Don't pay for a bill that is $15 with a $100 bill. I do not have all of that money sitting in my float, okay? If you are bringing your kid to the restaurant, you better tip me more for if I have to clean up the huge mess that your child left. One table I was serving, this kid literally grabbed a spoon and was slamming their spoon on a glass, and the glass shattered and broke everywhere. Not to mention there was milk spilled all over the seat, there was french fries all over the floor that I needed to clean up, and when I was cleaning up the table, I got a glass shard stuck in my hand because your couldn't watch your kid hit the freaking glass and tell them to stop. Don't ask me to turn down the volume on a Raptors playoff game night. Don't sit at a table and then request a certain server to serve you at that table. Let your host know so she can seat you in that person's table, because now the server that you requested is stealing a table from another server. Don't wait till the bill comes to notice how much your food was. Don't get mad at me when your nachos were $25. You should have read the menu and decided if you could spend $25 on nachos. Don't say, oh my God, you did amazing today, you were so great, and tip $2 on a $300 bill. If you're allergic to nuts, gluten, soy, corn, water, and you come into a restaurant, don't get mad at me when I just recommend you a salad with no dressing, because honestly, that's all that you can get. If your bill is $100 and you're paying with a $75 gift card and your remaining amount is $25, don't tip on the remaining $25. Tip on the $100 that it was, because 20% of 100 is a lot less than 20% of $25. And the next one is probably the most important one, okay? The standard tip percentage in the industry is 15%, but that's not just because servers are greedy and they want lots of money, okay? It's 20% for if the server did like a great job. Anyways, that's the serving standard tip average, because what people don't understand is that when we serve a table, we need to tip out on that table. So let's say the table gave us a 10% tip. 6% of that automatically goes back to the house to pay the, or to tip out the culinary, to tip out the bartender who made your drink. If there's serving assistants, you tip them out. You tip out the host as well. So 6% of that is automatically gone. So if you tip 10%, we only get 4% for that table. Now, that's not the worst case scenario, okay? The worst case scenario is if you tip less than 6%. So if you tip a standard $2 amount, if you tip 5% on that bill, the server actually has to pay to serve your table. So we do all of the work, we bring you everything, we give you great service, only to have to pay to do our job. All right, everybody, that is it. That is my rant. I should have put a disclaimer at the beginning of the video to say that I'm not just like this terrible person that just complains all the time. Serving is actually a really, really great job. You make a lot of money in cash that you can choose what to claim. I mean, if the CRA is watching this, or you know, like any revenue agency, I claim 100% of my tips, of course. But you know, not a lot of servers do. So there's many perks to this job. The hours are not, you know, 40 hours a week most of the time, okay? It's not a 9-to-5 job. It's a very fast-paced environment. You're not working in an office, which is super boring. There's a lot of really good things. You get to choose the shifts that you want to work. It's a pretty great job, not gonna lie. And I know servers who make over 6 figures. This one server took off a year between high school and the college or university, and she made $104,000 that year. So yeah, it's amazing. She was able to pay for her college in full and buy herself a car just for that 1 year. So it's a pretty great job. Not gonna complain about it. Honestly, I would go back and I'd serve again. I don't see why not. But that is pretty much it for this video. I hope all of the servers out there kind of were able to relate to this video and have a good laugh about it. I feel like these are things that servers complain about all the time when we are back in the kitchen. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, hit that red button down below, and also turn on your post notifications so you never miss a video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.